Hi, I'm Mrs. C, and this is Math to Find. This video is a quick review of adding integers, so let's get started. Let's start by reviewing the two rules for adding integers. If the integers have the same signs, then you just add and keep the sign. And if the signs are different, then you subtract and keep the sign of the integer with the greater absolute value. Looking at this expression, negative 15 plus positive 40, the signs of the integers are different. So we will have to subtract first. 40 minus 15 is 25. Now we have to determine whether this 25 is positive or negative by looking at the absolute values of both of the integers and keeping the sign of the larger value. The absolute value of negative 15 is positive 15. Remember, the absolute value of any number is always positive, and the absolute value of positive 40 is positive 40. Now we will compare these two values, and since 40 is the greater value, and it is positive, the sum of this expression will be positive 25. If you're liking this video content so far, share it with a friend, give it the thumbs up, click that subscribe button along with the notification bell. Showing your support really does make a huge difference for the channel. And if you're a returning viewer of my channel, thank you. Our next example is positive 12 plus negative 36. Since this pair of integers have different signs, we will subtract first and then determine whether the sum is positive or negative. So 36 minus 12 is 24. Now we will find the absolute value of positive 12, which is positive 12, and then we will find the absolute value of negative 36, which is positive 36. Then we'll compare the values, and since 36 is the larger absolute value and it is negative, the sum of this expression will be negative 24. Now let's look at this expression that has more than one operation. Since both of the operations are addition, we will need to add from left to right. So we will start with positive 1 plus negative 13. Since the integers have different signs, we will subtract 13 minus 1 first to get 12. And then looking at the absolute values of positive 1 and negative 13, we see that 13 has the greater absolute value. So my sum here will be negative 12. And then we need to bring down the rest of the expression. The next step is to add negative 12 and negative 20. Since both of the integers have the same signs, we will just add the numbers together and keep the negative sign. So 12 plus 20 is 32, and we will keep the negative sign, so our sum will be negative 32. This expression also has more than one operation, but we will not add it from left to right because it also has a pair of grouping symbols. And we know that to follow the order of operations, solving what's inside grouping symbols will need to be completed first. Since here we have negative 8 plus negative 20, and since both of the integers have the same signs, we will just add the numbers and keep the negative sign. So 8 plus 20 is 28. And since we are keeping the negative sign, the sum will be negative 28. We will bring down the rest of the expression and then add positive 10 plus negative 28. Here the integers have different signs, so we will need to subtract 10 from 28, which is 18, and then looking at the absolute value of positive 10 and negative 28, 28 is the larger value, so the sum will be negative 18. Well, I hope you found this video to be helpful. You can check out more of my math videos at Math to Find. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.